Welcome to the last part of the AWS recitation. In this video, we are going to talk about remote process. If we are running code that takes a long time to complete, for example, here I have a code snippet that outputs the timestamp to the output file every 2 seconds. If we just run it from the terminal like this, now the code is running. It always happens that the execution stops because of the SSH connection is closed, or simply we close the terminal by accident. We can see the code stops running. Since training usually takes several hours, it is very inconvenient that we need to keep our laptop and connection open all the time. The first solution we are going to introduce is screen command. It allows us to create new terminals to execute our code in the background. To start a new session, type in the command screen-s with the session name. Now we are in the new session. We can start running the code normally within this session. Now the code is executing. We can exit the current session using Ctrl+A then D. We can see that the code is still running and updating the output file. To go back to the session, we can type in screen-r with session name. We can see that even if we close the terminal by accident, the code will still keep running. Now let's stop the code. The second solution we are going to talk about is Jupyter Lab. If you are a notebook person and you don't like to run .py code, here is a solution for you to set up a Jupyter Lab server on your EC2 instance. In this way, you can run your notebooks without interruption. First, we need to install Jupyter and Jupyter Lab in your environment. Here, I already have it installed. Next, we need to create a Python script and paste the code to generate hashed password. The code is available on the slide. And replace this string with your password. Then run the script. Copy and paste the output for your hashed password for later use. The next step is to create a configuration file for Jupyter Lab server. Make this directory if it does not exist before. Then go to this directory and create a file named Jupyter server config.py. Then copy and paste the code, the configurations available on the slide. And then replace this string with the hashed password you just copied. And then save the configuration file. The last step is to open a screen session and run our Jupyter Lab server. Create a session named Jupyter and activate our environment. Then run Jupyter Lab to start the session. We can see that our lab is running on 8888. It's the port number we set in our configuration file. Then we go to our AWS console, find our instance, copy the public IP address, and go to 888. Put in the password. Then we have a notebook environment to use. Even if we accidentally close everything, as long as your EC2 instance is running, the notebook will be working correctly. One thing to notice is that if you cannot access this page successfully, go back to the EC2 instance page, go to the Security tab, and find the security group for your instance. Here I'm selecting Group Deep Learning. Then let's go to Network and Security, select security groups, and find the corresponding security group. Check if there is an inbound rule with type custom TCP and the port for our Jupyter Lab. If there isn't such a rule, we can edit inbound rule, click Add Rule, and configure the port number here. After this step, you should be able to access Jupyter Lab successfully.